Hey YouTube, Ed here with Jack of all trades and welcome to another video. So what have I got today? Today I've got the US General Series 3 56-inch roller cab toolbox. This toolbox is 56 by 22 inches and I needed a toolbox up here, so I went ahead and bought one, and I thought as long as I bought one, let me tell you what my first impressions are of it. So let's get right into the video. And welcome back. So yes, I've got the 56-inch by 22 US General Series 3 roller cabinet toolbox. I've needed a toolbox up here at my cabin for quite some time, and I wanted it to be also a bit of a workbench, if you will. So I went ahead and I picked one of these up. I had looked at used ones on Facebook and things like that, and I finally said, you know what, let's just go ahead and buy one. So I picked this up at my local Harbor Freight. They are $8.99 normally, and if you find them on sale, which isn't very often, you can get them on sale. I actually got a deal on this one, whereas if you signed up for their Fast Track Club that day, I could go ahead and get 20% off of one single item, toolboxes included. So this toolbox just cost me a little over $700. So pretty good deal with that. I was really happy with that. So what are my overall impressions with the toolbox? Well, let's start off with the packaging and loading and unloading and things like that. Now, a buddy of mine up here, he's got this same toolbox, but it's a couple of years old, and it's the previous generation. I believe it's the Series 2. One thing I know that they've changed, and he commented on this because he helped me unpack this one because I thought I was going to need it, is that they made the unpacking process much simpler. First off, they give you this swanky little ramp, which is something that, it's not much, but it's a nice touch, because getting it off of that big pallet without a ramp, that means you got to pick it up and manhandle it off the ramp. With this thing, we were able to just quite simply roll it off the ramp. We took a couple of the cross braces out so it could roll all the way down, and it literally rolled right down this ramp, easy as can be, no issues whatsoever. So that was really nice, and that was the first thing he said is, wow, they really made a lot of improvements on how they package these things and making them much easier to get on and off of the pallet. Once we got it unloaded and unboxed, and I'm here to tell you, you're going to have some residue left over. There is a full pallet that you have to get rid of, plus a very large piece of cardboard that you need to get rid of. But once you get it unpackaged, there's almost no assembly to this. The only thing we had to install was the handle. We didn't have to install caster wheels. We didn't have to install anything. It was all pre-assembled, which is actually really nice. It took far less time to unpackage this thing than I originally thought it would. All the mats were already installed on the deck and on the drawers and things like that. Now, my buddy, when he bought his, he said all the mats were rolled up and wrapped in cellophane plastic. That was the Series 2. Now they go ahead and they just lay them out on the top and in the drawers like they're supposed to. And so you don't have to wait for them to uncurl or put them out in the sun or anything like that. It's already said and done. So the packaging, the prep, the assembly, super easy. Couldn't be more happy with that. Very easy to put together and get it unboxed. I think it took us probably 20 minutes, and that's because I shot video while I was doing it. So let's go ahead and let's move the camera and let's talk about the toolbox itself. All right, so let's just kind of work from top to bottom here. First off, you get the keys for it. Obviously, there's one locking point on here, and you actually get 4 keys. I've got 2 already hidden away so that if I ever lose these sets of keys, I'll know where to go to get them. But one locking point, the locking system is very positive. You can feel that it's engaged, and there must be some kind of a spring mechanism or something in there. But it's locked up these drawers nice and solid. Can't get them open, and then when you unlock it, very easy to unlock. You can actually feel the spring retracting all the latches. So the locking system on this toolbox feels really good. Let's talk about the top deck. The top deck is nice and solid. It's nice and sturdy. Now, if you're going to use it like a workbench like I am, I'm not planning on screwing anything to this. I just want it as an open work surface. I don't know if you can screw something to the top deck or not. I have no intentions of doing so, but it's very nice and solid. You're not going to be putting engine blocks on it or anything like that, but you certainly can rebuild carburetors or, just have it as a work surface, which is really, really nice. One thing that they've changed on the Series 3 is the mechanism to open and close the drawers. There's a little lever underneath here that you have to disengage to get the drawers to open. On the Series 2, on my buddies, that mechanism is way over here, and you have to go over here to unlock it. On the Series 3, they've went ahead and they've put that mechanism all the way across the toolbox. So now I can put my hand pretty much anywhere on the toolbox, and there's good little positive finger grooves that you can get in there to release the mechanism so you can actually open the drawers. Let's talk about the drawers a little bit. These drawers are full opening drawers, and don't pick on me for the mess. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to organize this. But these drawers are full opening drawers. The larger drawers come with dual roller sliders, which really, really heavy duty. There is almost no movement or wiggle to these things. Just very, very impressed with them. I do believe that the smaller drawers are single heavy duty sliders, and yes, that is correct. The drawer down here is another single. The drawers are very well constructed. They work extremely easy, no effort whatsoever to pull these things open. Just very, very impressed with them. Very neat set of drawers over on the right side. These two drawers here are kind of your power tool drawers. So this drawer right here, it comes with a built-in power strip. So you can go ahead and plug in chargers to charge batteries and things of that effect. Very, very nice feature. Loving that feature a lot. The cord for the power strips plugs in on the back side of the toolbox, and then you plug it into a wall, and then it feeds that. This power strip does have an on-off switch right here, so you can physically turn it off if you want. So when you're plugging things in and you can't figure out why the chargers aren't lighting up, it's probably because you have the power switch turned off. Then this drawer down here, this is your power tool storage drawer. And as you can see, I've already got my power tools in here, and I went ahead and I bought the insert. Now this toolbox does not come with the insert, this particular model, but you can buy the insert for like $29, $30. It's really inexpensive, and it's just a really nice way to organize your power tools. And then there's enough space underneath the power tools where you can put additional things if you wanted to. Really liking that. Really organized my power tool drawer very, very nicely. Very super excited about that. Okay, let's talk about casters a little bit. So you've got 4 casters that come on the toolbox. The 2 casters on one end are swiveling casters, and then if you go to this end over here, those 2 casters are fixed. They're hard, kind of a plastic material. They're about 6 inches in diameter. They roll really well, really well. I don't think they're ball bearing or anything like that, but I don't have any intentions of moving this toolbox around. So in reality, I don't care. All I need, in fact, it would have been just fine to put a set of legs on this thing because I have no intention of ever moving this toolbox out if I can get away with it. But they do have nice heavy casters on them. If you are a professional mechanic and you're going to be rolling your toolbox all over the shop, you might want to upgrade casters to something aftermarket. But if that's not the case, if your toolbox is going to pretty much sit stationary, I don't think I'd ever worry about these casters. I think they'll hold up just fine. So really the kind of last thing to talk about is this handle that they give you. Now, yes, before you say anything, I know I have the handle on what most people would consider to be the wrong end. You can put the handle on whatever side you want. If I was moving this thing around a lot, I would put the handle on the caster side, so it'd be much easier to steer. But this is not going to move around, and I actually wanted that side of the toolbox to butt up against my workbench, which is over there, and the handle would have gotten in the way and interfered with that. So I just put it here more than anything just to get it out of the way. But the handle, very heavy, very nicely constructed. The end pieces are metal. I'm assuming either aluminum. I'm assuming they're aluminum. They don't feel like steel. They're nicely powder coated. The handle itself has got a great knurled grip on it. You can get a real good positive grip on that handle. Just a really nice solid handle altogether. Certainly adequate to handle the weight of pulling this little 56-inch toolbox around if you need to. I say little sarcastically. It's a pretty large size toolbox. Speaking of size, let's go ahead. Let's give a measure on this thing. They claim, I believe it's 56 by 22. Let's see if they're lying to us. Is it really a 56-inch cabinet? And is it really 22 inches? So I go put the dumb end of the tape over there. It's actually 56 and almost 3/4 inches long. So, yep. Let's check the drawer sizes. The drawers are 52 inches. So if you're wondering about the size of it, it is over 56 inches wide, but the drawers themselves are not 56 inches wide. And then let's check depth. It's almost 22 inches right on the button. So that's the measurements of the cabinet. And as long as we're measuring, let's check height. 44 inches tall. If you're going off of the work surface, it looks like 43 and a half. So that's the measurements of it. So it is a 56 by 22 toolbox. They are not lying to us about that. It is absolutely what they say. So let's talk fit and finish. Now this is what they call the slate gray, and it comes in several colors. Fit and finish of this roller cab is actually very, very nice. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe that the finish on it is all powder coated. This is kind of a blacked out version, which I really, really like. The logo for the U.S. General it's raised up. It's really sharp looking. The Series 3 over there, really like that. I could not find a flaw in the paint. I couldn't find a nick, a scratch, a dent, nothing. This was really well packaged, and there was absolutely no problems with this whatsoever. I do have a scratch right there, but I made that scratch, not Harbor Freight, so that's bad on me. But hey, now I got the first scratch out of the way. All the rest of it's downhill from here, right? Fit and finish of the cabinet was perfect. There was absolutely nothing wrong with it. They had it very, very well packaged. There's a lot of packing material. They got a lot of gap fillers in here. They did a really nice job of packaging this thing up. They loaded it right up into my truck for me. They had a forklift there. It was no issue whatsoever. It was the easiest thing to pick up. It took me a little while to sit there and wait for them to bring it out from the back, but they happened to be busy the day I was there, so it wasn't too bad. Overall, I think the cabinet is really a nice looking cabinet, and it's super, super functional, and it's going to be a great place for me to store my tools up here. So I guess because nothing is perfect, I should probably gripe about at least one thing, right? The only gripe I can manage on this cabinet is the fact I can't push it right up against the wall. I can't push it up right against the wall because the power cord, which is right here, that plugs into the back of the cabinet to feed the power strip, sticks out a little bit. It would be kind of nice if it was recessed so I could push this up against the wall. I've got almost a 2-inch gap in between my wall and my cabinet, but you know what? That's really not a barn burner. That's just me really being type A and liking things to be, if you will, dress right dress and just kind of nice and lined up and organized. I would sure like to have been able to push this up against the wall, but I like the feature of having a power strip in a drawer so I can charge batteries much, much better. Like I said, it would have been nice if they would have recessed it. Now, that being said, I can go ahead and I can put a recess in my wall, and then if I'm that bothered by it, I can fix it myself. But really, that's the only thing I can find a gripe with about this thing. So any tips and tricks that I can offer you, the biggest tip I can give you is to get some help. This toolbox is heavy. I believe the specification page on Harbor Freight says it's like 350 pounds, but then you add the pallet and all the packing material, you're pushing the hell out of 400 pounds. You're going to want some way to unload this thing. I don't care if you get 5 buddies over to come help you unload it or whatever it is. I used my tractor with a set of pallet forks on it. That was perfectly fine. It did it just fine. But you're going to need some way to unload this thing. This is a very heavy toolbox, and you and a neighbor are going to really struggle to get it out of the bed of a pickup or off of a trailer. You're going to want to recruit 2, 3 guys to help you unload this thing. And then as far as unpacking it from the box, in reality, you could probably get that done by yourself, but the instructions do say to recruit some help. And I did have my friend here to help me out, to help me unload it, and I do appreciate that. Thank you for that. Just to make sure that it wasn't a problem, but in reality, I think I probably could have unloaded it myself. It was nice having an extra set of hands here, but was it necessary? Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Just depends on you and how you operate, but you might want to recruit some help to get this thing unloaded and unpacked because it is not a lightweight. There is some weight behind this thing, and you are really going to need some help. Another thing that I really like about this toolbox is when I go ahead and open these drawers, and if I put them out to full extension and I'm pushing on this drawer, I don't get any feeling whatsoever that the toolbox is going to tip over. I think there's more than enough weight behind this toolbox to make sure that even if the drawer is out full extension, that it's going to tip over. Now, I got kind of lucky here where my concrete isn't exactly level, but my drawers kind of automatically close if you just give them a little bump, because there is just a touch of rearward facing slope and they'll close on their own. So I kind of got lucky there. I would recommend that when you set this up, if you need to shim your casters in such a way so that when you have your drawer open, that it'll automatically just kind of close itself with just a little bit of a bump. First impressions on the US General Series 356-inch roller cab. So far, I'm loving it. Now, in a year after some use and some abuse, or 2 years, will I still love it then? I think I probably will. The problem is they're probably going to have a Series 4 and a Series 5, or they may change brands altogether. So in 2 or 3 years, if I did a review video or a 2 or 3 year down the line video, this thing's probably going to be outdated or irrelevant anyway because they'll have new stuff out. But I think I'm going to have no problems with this whatsoever. I love the construction. I love the looks. I like the layout. They did put a goodly amount of thought into this thing. I think they might have actually talked to some mechanics and asked them, what would you put into a toolbox? I can't quantify that, but judging from the way they laid this thing out, I see no reason to believe anything other. I think they did a really, really good job with this, and I'm very, very impressed with it. I am not at all having buyer's remorse for buying this toolbox. None whatsoever. Very, very happy with it. And I think you will be as well. So with that, let's go ahead and wrap this video up. Now, if you're liking these kind of videos and you like this kind of content, please let me know in those comments down below. I really do appreciate it. And do me the solid of hitting the like and subscribe button, and make sure you ring that notification bell so you get notified of upcoming videos. Now, in the next few months, if I do have any problems with this toolbox, I'll make sure I do an update video and let you know, but I'm not anticipating that there's going to be any problems. This is Ed with Jack of All Trades. As always, thank you to my longtime subscribers. Thank you to everybody who watches these videos, and we'll see you on the next video.